Hey again, people. Well, I want to do a Trump follow-up on the assassination attempt of President Trump. I did my live. I'll put a link to my live. I'm probably going to have to delete most of my live because I don't know when YouTube is going to give me a strike. So the link I'll put at the bottom to see my live will be either to BitChute or to Rumble, and you can watch it there uncut. And I'll probably have to cut the one off I did on YouTube. But I did a live. I covered an assessment on the Secret Service. A lot of things that I said, like I want to say an hour after the shooting, is being repeated today. Not that I'm that smart. It's just very obvious for anybody with any training in protecting people on the colossal failures. So there's a lot of things going on being posted, etc. So I figured I would just document and kind of make a history of it. And I'll put a video out there so in case people want to copy it or refer to it later, etc. Because I'm sure it's going to start disappearing. I'm already hearing rumors how they're going to use this to stop free speech. They're going to shut down on the so-called rhetoric. We need to start getting along. Look, I'm a free speech guy, so I don't care what anybody says. Say what you want. It's your actions that I think ought to be criminal, not your words. Let me go through some of the new things that are coming up today, because now it's been about 24 hours and we've got new intel. They're still holding a lot back, and I'll go over some of the things that I'm waiting for. So this little video is pretty pathetic right here. These women, Secret Service, confused, don't know what to do. I call them Ponytail police. This girl doesn't know whether to holster a gun, pull it out. I mean, the incompetence here is just like, yeah, I'm going to holster my gun. The president was shot. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll hold it. I don't know what I should do. Where should I go? Let me get my glasses on. I mean, this is the leading presidential candidate, and because they have a female in charge of the Secret Service in order to be posh, and her main goal is to hire more females, you know, again, we're lowering the standards. DEI crap gets people killed, and it just makes us look incompetent, stupid throughout the world. They're all looking at each other. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I mean, pretty pathetic. Time magazine usually doesn't get much right on their covers because they're a left-wing rainbow flag idiot woke organization, but I think they got this cover of their magazine right. Lots of different memes popping up on this incompetent Secret Service girl. I can't tell if this is a suspenders. Does she have a suspender to hold her pants up? I can't tell if there's two. Does she have a thing for her gun? I don't even want to know what she's got. I don't even know who this person is here, but somebody made this meme and they kind of look alike. They both look pretty incompetent. And of course, CNN is reporting all kind of BS titles that Trump fell on stage. Trump had to be assisted by Secret Service. I mean, they're just totally trying to hide that one of their left-wing loons tried to kill the leading presidential candidate. They're making up these weak things. So somebody made this CNN headline that Caesar was injured doing group hug. That's how stupid CNN is on their titles. Another video pointing out the incompetence of this agent. It's pretty glaring that, I mean, think about it. This is the best we got. Just because they have a ponytail and they sit to pee, we should suddenly have them guarding the president? Who thinks if these are the only two, if all the Secret Service agents got shot and these two are the last ones left, that they could save the president? They could pick him up. They could help carry him away. It's just ridiculous. This was a great contrast picture that somebody did. This was back when Reagan got shot. Dude jumps in front, guns out, ready to fire, looking at the crowd, and now we have fear, trying to holster a gun, unholster a gun with suspenders, whatever. This picture just keeps getting worse and worse about, I mean, I don't even know if this woman could lift a large sandwich, much less the person she's protecting. I'm not sure if she could carry herself up some stairs, but I digress. This is pretty funny. This is a guard at a silly bar or nightclub, and this is a guard for our president. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'm sure people are scared to try something against her. The incompetence of women are at least being talked about and discussed. Normally, this is taboo to say that women, but now they're saying this is Trump's new security detail. And of course, they're photoshopping Biden's. And this is Trump going golfing at 9 a.m. He gets shot at 7 p.m. at night. Next morning, he's out golfing at 9 a.m. Meanwhile, Biden can't walk up one set of steps without needing help or falling to the ground. More and more about why these guys took so long to fire. It was 3 minutes or 4 minutes or even 2 minutes. They were being warned there was a guy with a gun climbing a tree to get on the roof. Now there's reports that the shooter actually aimed his gun at a police officer who ran and hid and let him get to the roof and take the 5 shots before they shot him. I think they were calling a female Secret Service team Mill Team 6. Mill Team 6. Get it? 6 Mills, Mill Team? Anyway. And of course the liberals are all upset that it wasn't successful and they're making these videos, which I don't care. I support free speech. If they want to do this, again, words don't hurt me. Words aren't going to make me do something that I would normally do. I don't like suppression of free speech.
And that I would ever try to assassinate a presidential candidate. All I'm saying is that if I went through all of that fucking trouble, I wouldn't miss. I wouldn't graze that nigga. He wouldn't be able to raise a fist. I would finish the fucking job.
Okay. And of course, there's the speech where he was shot.
Take a look at what happened.
In a minute, you're going to see a Secret Service agent, female, hiding while the other male agents jumped on him. I'll show that picture in a minute. So here is where they're starting their censor of free speech. Now the left, suddenly CNN is saying we need to tamper down the speech. Now that they have jacked up everything so much that they got somebody fired up to go out there and do something stupid, now they're saying we need to tone it down. And you'll notice Biden and all the other politicians are coming out, oh no, violence is not good, because they know people are waking up and are tired of being lied, tired of seeing our country ruined, illegals coming in, our resources exported, our freaking taxes going up. We're giving billions to other countries. We have our vets dying on the street. People are fed up. And the reason why politicians don't want to condone violence against politicians, because they know they're probably next in line. That's the only reason they're saying this. They don't give a shit if it happens to the other team.
I do want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape, I found odd because of all of the heated rhetoric. And that is that after he was hit, former President Trump got up and said, fight, fight, fight. I think what we're hearing from people is that's not the message.
So here the left wing is blaming Trump, who just got shot because you people have been saying, kill him, murder him, cut his head off. He's a terrorist. He's the greatest threat. Him and his MAGA supporters are going to destroy the end of democracy. You guys have set all this shit in motion, and now you blame him when he gets shot. Yeah, I'm not for this get along now and suddenly we should lower the rhetoric. Hell no. Not for me. This is a great picture of Trump's son standing up. He's not happy. They just tried to kill his dad. He's seen that they put his dad in jail. They searched his house. They've humiliated him. They've trumped up charges. They've charged him. They're trying to put him in prison. He is watching all this. And then they're going to be crying, how did all these domestic terrorists in this country turn on the government? Well, he doesn't look like he's in a forgiving mood, and I don't blame him. Good for him. Of course, the Babylon Bee is making up stupid headlines. Trump indicted for inciting assassination attempt. That is, Babylon Bee hits so many fake titles that they really hit spot on the truth, because they've indicted Trump for everything else stupid. January 6th, insurrection, trying to take over the country, end of democracy, freaking theft of classified. It's just on and on and on. Now they're probably going to charge him with inciting an assassination. It's so stupid because it's so close to the truth. So here's all the rhetoric that the left is now saying, because you've incited somebody to try and kill our presidential candidate, now they're all saying we need to lower the rhetoric. And here's what they did.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Go to the Hill today.
get up in the face of some Congress people.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
When they go low, we kick.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there is unrest in our lives.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And that's a
Have to put a bullet in him. But now we need to lower the rhetoric, people. The left is always accusing the other side of what they do 10 times worse. Here's more of the rhetoric from the left.
A lot of people have tried to draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler and the use of the terminology like vermin and the drive that those men had towards autocracy and dictatorship. The difference, though, I think makes Donald Trump even more dangerous, and that is he has no philosophy he believes in. He is not trying to expand the boundaries of the United States of America. He's not trying to overcome a neighboring country like Putin is in Ukraine. He is not going for some grandiose scheme of international dominance. All he wants is to look in the mirror and see a guy who's president. All he cares about is selfish self-promotion. That's the only philosophy he has, which makes him even more dangerous because he has actually said out loud that it would be okay to terminate the Constitution to keep him in power. He said this. He actually said...
She's just making it up as she goes. So here's what President Biden said before he got shot. Now he's saying he's happy he didn't get shot and there's no room for violence. But this is what he said before.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy. But while the threat to American democracy is real, I want to say as clearly as we can, we are not powerless in the face of these threats. MAGA Republicans have made their
MAGA Republicans, threats, end of democracy. Can't imagine what rhetoric they're talking about.
choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. We've told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. We're all called by duty and conscience to confront extremists who put their own pursuit of power above all else. We must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy than MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair. They spread fear and lies. Lies told for profit and power. The MAGA Republicans believe that for them to succeed, everyone else has to fail. Donald.
Wow. A little more nice, kind, keeping cool heads from the left.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there. Pull it up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at.
What the hell is that? Is that an eyebrow? Who's her freaking makeup person? Freaking the Joker from Batman?
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh yeah, let's tone down the rhetoric from the left. We should take advice from them, right? And here's somebody from the left saying they're upset because he missed. Look how angry this woman is that a guy wasn't killed.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah!
Here's a more appropriate meme. When Democrats don't get the way, they get dangerous. Look at the last 4 years. It's pretty appropriate. If you try and stop wars, they will kill you. Kennedy wanted wars. He wanted to stop wars. Trump doesn't like wars. He wants to stop Ukraine. He wanted to get us out of Afghanistan safely. Biden screwed that shit up. So CNN's headline for their big news, #1, is dozens killed as Israeli targets Hamas. Woo! Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. And then poor Alex Baldwin, Rust movie set shooting trial over why the involuntary manslaughter case against the actor was dismissed. That's CNN coverage in a nutshell. And of course, this clip, they'll probably take this down because it makes Trump look not like he's going to give up. They'll blame Trump for inciting violence. Here's a second witness statement that tried to warn the police about the shooter before he shot.
As Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that. And I went and left, and that was all.
So the viewers have some perspective. Behind us, okay, is the American Glass Research Company, okay? Can you kind of describe the building behind us, the tan building right there? Can you take a look at it? And then where was the shooter exactly?
There's more buildings behind the tan building that we can see, and we were back there, and there's two or three buildings behind that, and he was on both of them. I assume both of them when he went on that small section from one to the other, and that was where I last saw him, was the end of his day.
So this man was able to basically climb to the next building, and you told law enforcement, hey, there's a guy over there.
Correct. I don't know how he got up there. I don't know any of that, but I definitely saw him up there and went to the officer, and that was all I know.
This is the picture of the other witness that warned them. I played his interview on my live. The link's in the description. Another left-wing kid that's violent, rage, and upset that he missed.
How do you miss that? We don't miss those! Come on, man! Fuck! We don't miss those! One shot at greatness! To be mentioned in the history books! And you missed the shot? Fuck! What fucking shit? How?
I don't know who this doctor is tweeting, damn, so close, too bad. I really wish the person had better aim. What a glorious day this could have been. Yeah, you know, you right-wing conspiracy theorists that haven't burnt down any buildings or rioted, you really need to tone it down. Okay, so this is footage of Trump leaving the hospital.
President Trump has left the hospital following an apparent assassination attempt at the rally late this afternoon in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm Martha McCallum, along with Trace Gallagher and Bill Hemmer. Advisors to former President Trump say that he's doing well and that he looks forward to the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee next week. This image is going to be one that goes down in history. President Trump has left the...
Another CNN headline downplaying that someone just tried to kill the possible next president. So this is a new video that just came out. You can actually see the snipers. They're already focused on the building because they've heard yelling. People are saying this guy's got a gun. There's a guy on a roof. So they're both looking over there and sighting in, but they don't shoot until after he shoots. So there's a lot of questions on that. Normally, if you have a gun on a roof next to a president, you're probably going to get shot. Normally. Except in this case, they waited till after he shot. Not sure why.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So if we go back here, I can't tell if this dude took 3 shots or 1 shot right here. Looks like he takes... That's a 50 caliber he's got there. Looks like he takes aim. 1 shot. Kicks back. I don't know who took the other shots. This guy looks like he's down. His rifle is out of commission. I don't know when his rifle. He's sitting right here and he looks like he folds and ducks down. He's not shooting either. More failure of the Secret Service that's supposed to put their life in danger to take the guy out. He's ducking and covering. I think he only fired 1 shot. I still don't know who shot him. Who shot the bad guy. It's also been reported they kept wanting more Secret Service protection, and the director, the female that wants to hire more females, denied the extra protection. So here was Trump. Here's the shooter. Here's the people that were killed in the area right in the line of fire. And then here's Secret Service that waited to shoot or shot him, whatever. And this is the director of the Secret Service. Again, a Secret Service agent failed a judgment course, and she overrode it, passed her anyway to fulfill a quota girl. This woman has no business. She didn't deserve the job. She's a DEI hire. She's hiring DEI hires. And now we're going to have nothing but incompetence. It's ridiculous. But you know what? I'm pretty sure she's only incompetent on Trump's protection detail. Biden pretty much gets anything he wants. This guy released a nice message after the shooting.
I've never been more proud to be a part of the Trump campaign as I am tonight.
I watched today as a man with blood pouring from his head, in excruciating pain, with gunfire still being exchanged, raise his head up above the arms of the Secret Service who were saving his life, and look dead into the camera and speak to the American people and say, continue to fight. You see, it's important to note that President Trump in that moment had absolutely no idea what the outcome was going to be. All he knew is that he had been struck and he was bleeding out. But he wanted to make sure that if it was his last message to the American people, that it was a message of courage, strength, and more importantly, for them to continue to fight to save this country. President Trump displayed an amount of courage and passion for America that, quite frankly, I have never in my life seen any politician or any candidate for office display. And while there's talk all across the world tonight as to how this happened, how did we get here as a country? We all know exactly how we got here as a country. We got here because the Democrats, the left, the mainstream media, and even the voters who voted for Joe Biden have spread the hateful rhetoric that led us to this evening. We watched as CNN put the headlines out there that President Trump had fallen. CNN knew exactly what had happened because they were sitting right there in the media gallery. Every single major news network who pretends they don't know what happened and they put out these headlines making light of the situation are absolutely lying to the American people, tried to make light of the situation and pretend that it wasn't as serious as it was. They knew because they were there. But my focus tonight is not on the corrupt mainstream media or the corrupt Democrats. My focus is on President Donald Trump.
More calm, lowering the rhetoric from the left. The last thing we needed was sympathy for the devil, Trump. But here we are. Wow. Yeah, that'll calm things down. We should just, all the Republicans and all the patriots and everybody that loves America and wants to stop the destruction of the country, we should support the left and try to get along with them because they really mean well. I guess this finally identifies this Dr. Karen Pender, some medical practice director. Perfect. Another reason not to trust the medical community. Here's a report that the shooter donated money to Joe Biden. Whatever. That's his right. So the government is trying to turn this around, has a huge success that the sniper somehow took out the shooter. First of all, they didn't do the job. They failed. The Secret Service utterly failed. A bullet hit the president in the ear and he not turned his head, he would be dead. And we'd all be crying and saying we need to tone it down and this is too bad, although people would be rejoicing. So it's all bullshit. The government didn't succeed. They failed, in the most colossal way ever by allowing a guy to get a gun that close to the president with a line of sight on a roof at a high ground advantage without any intelligence or preventative measures to stop that from happening. Not only did they let him get up there, they were warned by two different citizens in the area and they did nothing. And then after they shot, they killed the person and they let the president get shot. And then their evacuation of the president was sloppy. So anybody that tries to turn this into some huge success by the Secret Service, you should know that they're really full of shit. There's reports that Secret Service that was supposed to be for Trump were pulled by Biden's wife for her. You people don't understand. I covered this more on my live on my Secret Service experience. This was such a sloppy security area for a president that I've ever seen. It was just, it's unheard of this. If this guy had gotten a mile away, was on a mountainside that couldn't be covered and got a shot off, I'd be saying, hey, you can only do so much. They didn't do aerial surveillance. They didn't put motion detectors on the roof. They didn't have a couple people on just a couple of roofs that could watch maybe 3 or 4 roofs. They totally left it wide open and allowed a guy to get a bullet on their protectee and on a former president and on possibly the next president. It is a total failure of government, which is why you should never give up your guns and never rely on government to protect you. They have unlimited money, unlimited resources to protect these people, and they can't do it. And they're telling you to give up your guns because they'll protect you. Well, you're an idiot if you believe that. So here's an interesting take. How does a 20-year-old loner that never had a job, lived at home, outsmart the state police, Butler County local police, and the U.S. Secret Service so effortlessly that he's able to climb a ladder or a tree? They saw him climbing a tree. with a rifle and spend 4 minutes preparing to aim before getting shots off. How does that happen? Well, there's a lot of people that think it couldn't happen unless it was planned or he was getting help. I don't know who this Ashley is, but she promoted that the guy should have got better aim, which means she wanted Trump to be dead. Now she deleted her count. Cowards, all of them. Yeah, I think I gotta raise my hand on this one. It's disgusting. We should turn down the rhetoric and try to get along with these people because they're really just good people trying to do the right thing, right? People are coming out endorsing Trump over this. Look, normally when all the people in government and all the media and all the people who are destroying a country and opening a border and allowing people to come in and rape and kill American citizens, normally when all those people hate somebody so much, people with a brain figure out he's probably good for the country. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists that this guy's ear is very distinct, the shooter, and the guy they're saying it is does not have an ear like this. So I don't know how true that is, whether autopsies will be, altered or lied, but this ear definitely looks different than this ear. And I've seen other angles of the shooter, and his ear is large and deformed like this. Now, could a high-powered bullet cause the ear to expand out? Yes. So that could be what we're seeing. Don King released a statement about Trump.
America needs Donald Trump. Today, Donald Trump was attempted to be assassinated. It's the system, the rigged, corrupt system that exists that is trying to prevent the American people from issuing their vote for Trump to become president again by not letting him be on the ballot. So they tried to kill him today. This is what we're up against. Trump can't be bought, bribed, intimidated, or coerced. It is freedom, peace, or death. And so he is demonstrating to the American people that he will never, never surrender. And so not surrendering, they're trying to kill him. And this has been a horrible situation for us here in America to experience Trump assassination. And so I want the American people to realize, recognize, and identify that this is something that we can't allow to happen. We've got to fight back just like Trump would do. And Trump says never, never surrender. And so we're not going to surrender, we're going to fight back. And even in the time of his stress of his death, he's putting his fist in the air and said, fight back, we're going to fight. So I love the man. America needs the man. America loves the man. And we want Trump to be able to, we got to support Trump, because in supporting Trump, we support ourselves. And this is what we must do for this great country called America, and fight for our country and our democracy and our rights. And Trump is the one who's identifying and exposing the crookedness, the corruptness, the divisiveness of this corrupt, rigged system that we're existing under. But today, the killer is dead. The one who attempted killer is dead, the shooter. And now we are going to go out and fight back to re-elect Donald Trump as our president, so that we can fight this system and do what he said. We will create a whole new system. We will take this system apart. I want to make America great again. America first.
Good for him.
They can't take down the truth. President Trump won't give up. He'll keep rising and help us to rise with him. Much love to you. God bless.
Here's a stark difference in how the Secret Service reacted when Reagan was shot.
Back up! Get him out! Get him out! Get him out! Down, back! Get him out! No!
Much more textbook. You get your protectee out of the kill zone, out of the insecure. Once somebody has a gun and shoots, you know your area is not secure. You don't know friend or foe. You evacuate the protectee and you get him out of the area, which is exactly what they done. You will also notice there's a distinct missing of any female agents that are confused or hiding.
The
right, stay back. Get back. Get the ambulance. I got one.
Notice how they were protecting him so they could get intel. They didn't want to kill him. They wanted to isolate him so we can gather intel. Who helped him? What's behind it? By the way, this guy that did this is already out of prison and roaming the streets. And here's a fellow government employee firefighter that is upset that the bullet didn't hit Trump square. Oh, Rick, he's a firefighter. They're heroes. They're all okay. So this was a video from the shooter's social media. This is supposedly the shooter that is now dead.
My name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. I hate Republicans. I hate Trump. And guess what? You got the wrong guy.
Here is a rear view that I haven't seen from when he got shot and after they escorted him off the stage.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
And of course, the left always takes an opportunity to blame the gun, not blame the left-wing idiot or the person that did it. They're blaming the gun. You know, they want to call it the AR-15 style, but law enforcement uses it and plenty of people use it. And I'm really amazed at this picture of what somebody got this guy before he shot. It's a really telling picture. I mean, he is aiming up and just sitting there on a roof, and they couldn't stop him. Here's a better shot of the shooter before he got any rounds off. This is after police were warned 2 to 4 minutes before. Okay, so that's 24 hours afterwards. I've tried to cover and memorialize as much as I could. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it, copy it, clip it, whatever. I'm just putting it out there so before people start deleting it and saying it didn't happen. All right, we'll end it there.